Canelo Alvarez has agreed to fight Terence Crawford, but only if the payment is right. Canelo is willing to fight Crawford and thinks he's a great fighter, even though Crawford is 3 weight classes lighter. Canelo said, "I've fought against bigger and smaller fighters, as well as older and younger ones. In the end, I was meant to stand up to anyone, but only on my own terms. Right now in my career, I want to take the best fights, but they have to help me. If the pay is good, then why not?" Turki al-Sheikh, the chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, announced plans to hold this big fight, possibly in December or January in the US. He said, "I'm trying to get Canelo to join us, but it will also be a major fight for Crawford. We'll discuss the details with him." Crawford, who attended the Canelo MIA fight, was asked if he'd face Canelo after the event. He confidently answered, "Most definitely."
Good fight. McGee showed his heart, determination. He just wasn't stepping in. Canelo kind of looked like he carried him, though.
What do you think about that fight in terms of you fighting Canelo? Did you see opportunities for yourself?
Most definitely.
What kind?
A lot. You had to see the fight, but Canelo did good. McGee did good. It was a good.
Terence Crawford is the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world and is at the height of his career. He's made it clear he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez and earn the biggest payday possible. Having recently moved up to 154 lbs, Crawford is gearing up to fight WBA title holder Israel Madrimov on August 3rd in Los Angeles, another show organized by Turki al-Sheikh. This move to 154 lbs might signal that Crawford is preparing to finally move up to 168 lbs and face Canelo. With the fight now seeming possible, many experts have weighed in on what might happen if these two boxing giants meet. Errol Spence Jr., a former Crawford opponent, shared his view, saying, "If Terence wants to be great, let him be. I don't know who would win, but I'd definitely pick Crawford."
I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, you know. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm with it. So, you know, I'll be going for Bud, you know, if he fight Canelo.
You got Crawford over Bud? I mean, you got Crawford over Canelo? Sorry.
I'll be going for him. I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off,
Eddie Hearn explained why Canelo is hesitant to fight Crawford. According to Eddie, Canelo thinks he wouldn't get much credit for beating Crawford because of the size difference. However, Eddie personally thinks Canelo would overpower Terence Crawford.
Don't represent him. I don't think he's overly interested in the Terence Crawford fight because I think he'll be thinking, I'm not going to get any credit for beating Terence Crawford. He's a 147-pounder who's just moved to 154. You're asking him to move up to 168 and fight a guy that's going to...
Partner, 3-weight world champion Shakur Stevenson, thinks Terence has the power to hurt Canelo and would win if they fought. Stevenson said, "I've been with Crawford for a long time, and I think he has a higher boxing IQ than Canelo. I've seen him hurt giants in the gym. He makes them wobble. People say Bud can't hurt Canelo, but I don't agree. In my opinion, Crawford is the better fighter, stronger than people think, and I believe he can beat Canelo." Commentator Tim Bradley also believes that Crawford would win against the super middleweight champion. Bradley compared it to when Floyd Mayweather outboxed Canelo in 2013. He said, "Crawford has the skills to outbox Canelo. Look at what happened when Jermell Charlo fought him. Charlo, who went up from 154, just survived in the ring. But Crawford is a different mentality. He's a true pound-for-pound guy. He's eager. He wants this fight, and I think he'll do well." On the other hand, Carlos Adames, who has sparred with Crawford, thinks Terence shouldn't face Canelo right now. He added, "Canelo punches really hard and it could be dangerous for Terence's career."
Vi 3 divisiones bastante libres, demasiadas yo diría. Pienso que no es algo que él lo necesita ahora mismo. Crawford en su carrera ha demostrado que es un buen peleador, pero pienso que no tiene que estar corriendo esos grandes riesgos, porque no solamente pone su carrera en riesgo, también pone su vida, porque un golpe de Canelo le puede hacer daño de por vida.
I don't think Crawford needs the Canelo fight right now. I think it's kind of needless for Crawford because his reputation is well cemented, and a punch by Canelo could not only be dangerous for him to lose the fight, but it could be dangerous for his life. So
Jose Benavidez, who was recently beaten by Crawford, shared his thoughts, saying, "Terence is a great, undefeated pound-for-pound boxer. He's smart, and anything can happen in fighting. It all depends."
You know, Crawford's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's a smart fighter. He's undefeated, right? He's beat the best of the best. So, I mean, I feel like he'll beat him. I mean, if everyone puts their mind to it and they train how they're supposed to train, which I know he is, I mean, anything's possible because Crawford is, I mean, Canelo's not bigger than him. I mean, weight-wise he is, but height-wise, they're about the same.
Sparring partner Sharon Davis, who has shared the ring with both fighters, thinks size will be a major factor in this fight. He acknowledged Terence Crawford's skills, but pointed out that Canelo has both skill and size, which gives him a major advantage. Davis added, "I've been in the ring with both. I helped Crawford prepare for his fight against Sean Porter, so I know his skills. But Canelo is just bigger, and that makes it a tall job for Crawford to win. Size alone doesn't win fights, but when you combine it with skill, it's tough to beat. If I had to bet, I'd put my money on Canelo. Both fighters are amazing, but Canelo's size and body type give him an edge." Davis also stated that it would be hard for Crawford to hurt Canelo, who is known for his granite chin, even at light heavyweight. He said, "Crawford would need to fight a perfect fight to win. Size will definitely play a part. Canelo's punches at 168 would be much more effective than Crawford's. It's not impossible for Crawford, but it would be very hard." Meanwhile, commentator Jim Lampley shared a different view, saying, "There's nothing Terence Crawford can't do. We can't tell him what's possible or not. He's the most stubborn fighter I've ever seen, and he can accomplish anything."
Crawford, he can't do anything. There's no, if Terence Crawford told me, I'm going to become a light heavyweight and I'm going to fight David Benavidez, I would say Terence knows better than I do what he can do. I mean, does it make any sense? No, it doesn't make any logical sense. So at the end of the day, we can speculate all we want about what he can do or what he should do, but nobody's going to decide this other than Terence Crawford. He is willful, he is stubborn, he is self-possessed, he is possessed of enormous self-belief. He is as confident as any person I've ever met. If I tell Terence Crawford, you can't drive your Ferrari from this intersection to the next one, he's going to get into the Ferrari and prove to me that I'm wrong. So I look forward to seeing whether Terence can prove everybody wrong about what he can or should do.
Alexander Osk is sure that his friend Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. Usyk said, "Terence is smart and different. I like him. He's my friend, but he's also a crazy man. I say Terence wins. He's unique. He fights both southpaw and orthodox, and is very smart at controlling distance and space." When asked about the weight gap between the two fighters, Osk admitted, "Canelo is big, and he's a good boxer. But I still say Terence can box like a big guy." On the other hand, professional boxer Amir Khan told Crawford not to take the fight against Canelo. He shared, "Both fighters are brilliant, but I've faced them both, and Canelo knocked me out when I was at my peak. Canelo is too strong for Crawford. Terence is a technician. He makes you miss and counters well, but when I fought him, I was past my best. Against Canelo, I was in great shape and doing well until he got me with one big punch that put me away. I don't think Crawford needs this fight." Similarly, Jeff Mayweather thinks that the weight difference would play a major role.
Two weight classes in what's the name being a, I mean, that I think he could still have some problems with Crawford, but still that weight is something to deal with. And you can't just say that because of Crawford's skills, he can automatically go up to 168 pounds and be the guy that's been doing this for a long time and also been one of the best fighters in the world for a long time.
Bernard Hopkins has raised concerns about Terence Crawford's plan to fight Canelo Alvarez. Hopkins questioned the benefit and well-being of Crawford, asking what good this fight could truly bring.
His life And with that fight, what do that fight do for Canelo fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo? What do that do for Canelo? I just think that there are so many other fights to make that's realistic and makes sense and less life-risking.
Bernard Hopkins further expressed his doubts about Crawford's choice to pursue a fight with Canelo Alvarez. He said, "I have serious reservations about this. It's a dangerous move, and I question the wisdom behind it. As someone who knows the physical toll boxing takes, I'm worried about Crawford's well-being in a fight against someone like Canelo." What advantage does this fight really hold for Crawford? There are plenty of other matchups that don't carry the same level of risk. However, Teddy Atlas believes Crawford has a unique ability to see things in slow motion during a fight. He said, "Crawford slows things down in the ring and sees what others can't. That's what makes his timing so special. Because of that, I can't take him out of anything." Boxing coach Virgil Hunter finds the ambiguity of this fight intriguing. He said, "This matchup is interesting because either fighter can win. That's what makes it exciting for fans. Some believe Crawford will win, while others think Canelo has the edge. Historically, the bigger guy wins, and Canelo has the size. But with someone as exceptional as Crawford, you can't count him out." Amir Khan, who has faced both fighters, added, "Canelo is easier to hit, while Crawford is much harder to..."
Differences between them. Canelo's stronger and is easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit. Clean. Yeah. So really, that's the difference. And
Crawford versus Canelo is a highly anticipated fight, but there's another battle fans want to see: Canelo versus David Benavidez. Benavidez has been calling out Canelo for a long time and is seen as one of the most credible fighters in Canelo's class. After Canelo's win over Munguia this past weekend, many fans are hoping this fight happens next. However, Canelo has allegedly demanded a staggering $200 million to face Benavidez.
He's tired of the excuses and wants Canelo to tell people that he simply doesn't want to fight it.
I think he's getting put into a corner now where he's running out of excuses. He said that the only thing I bring is 25 extra pounds and I'm not worth nothing, but he's asking 200 million and now he's gonna fight me in the same night. It's just stupid, bro. Like, you just tell the people you don't want to fight me.
You think his hunger is dissipating? You know,
I don't know. I can't talk to you about what his hunger is or how his training is or how he feels. I can only speak to you about myself, but for me, it looks like fear. It looks like fear, like he's scared of me.
David Benavidez is growing frustrated with the situation and thinks Canelo should just admit that he doesn't want to.
Canelo does, that's on him. I mean, I feel like if he was the baddest, he's saying I'm talking so much. Why don't you come shut me up? That's really, if you prove that you're the best and you are the best, what does it cost you getting a $65 million check and showing somebody up that you're better than him? You know what I mean? If he doesn't want to fight me, he doesn't want to shut me up, it's for a reason. I mean, he knows what's up. You know what I mean? And I am the best. You know, all the other guys he's fought is weak. They all have no power. That's why he doesn't want to fight me. I'm the bigger guy. I throw more shots. And I've been...
Many fighters want to face Canelo because of the massive cash reward it offers. He even joked that athletes like Naoya Inoue might consider moving up just to get a shot at him. Regarding Crawford, Benavidez acknowledged his skill but stressed the size difference. He said, "Crawford is undeniably skilled, but he needs to be realistic about fighting significantly bigger opponents. Look at the Charlo versus Canelo fight. Size matters in fighting. Crawford would face the same difficulties." David also accused Canelo of dodging tough opponents, saying, "Canelo doesn't want to fight me. He picks easier fights because he knows I won't be an easy payday."
Benavidez is a monster. He throws... Benavidez throws literally an average of above 50 to 55 punches around.
Yeah.
Canelo, Charlo, in the first round, they threw one punch combined. I'm not talking to you as, oh, I hate Canelo, oh, I hate Benavidez. No, I'm talking about a boxing expert. Those are the facts. That's reality on paper. Now, what happens in the ring and the bell rings, I don't know. If Canelo lands that one bomb that he always throws, the right hand, I mean, it's sayonara. It's game over for Benavidez. But I think Benavidez, because he's young because he's strong, because he's very versatile and throws a lot of punches, it's going to create.
Stephen A. Smith is not a fan of the idea of Canelo Alvarez facing Terence Crawford next, citing the size difference as a big issue for Crawford. Instead, he thinks Canelo should fight David Benavidez, whom he considers the best fighter in the 168-pound division. Smith said, "I hate this matchup. Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter, and Canelo is also one of the best. But Canelo is fighting at 168, which means he's much bigger."
What we all want as boxing fans is for the current super middleweight champion to fight another super middleweight champion, David Benavidez. David deserves a shot. He's proven he's the best in the division, and it doesn't feel right for
Canelo to pick someone 3 classes below him instead of facing Benavidez. Oscar De La Hoya agrees and thinks Benavidez would knock Canelo out if they fought. He added, "Benavidez..."
All the credit in the world for even thinking about possibly fighting Canelo, but if that fight ever takes place, I have Crawford 1,000%. And people are going to say, "Oh, well, you're contradicting yourself." I kind of am, but Crawford is also a big guy. Crawford is a big guy who can handle a Canelo because they're the same size. Crawford is a guy who punches hard, but he doesn't rely on his power. He relies on his footwork. He relies on his speed, on his change-ups. He relies on his combinations. He relies on his mind. And I believe that Crawford...
Floyd Mayweather also thinks Canelo should face David Benavidez instead of Terence Crawford. He said, "If it were up to me, I'd want to see Benavidez face Canelo. It's time for Canelo to stop cherry-picking opponents and take on a real threat. Benavidez is a hungry lion, and if Canelo wants to cement his reputation, he needs to fight him. I respect what Canelo has achieved, but dodging Benavidez only raises questions about whether he's willing to take on real challenges." Meanwhile, Claressa Shields offered a different take.
This is going to stay at 175 because I don't think him versus Canelo is going to happen. I think there's already been so much talk, so much saying back and forth to a point where Canelo is going to say, why? I just don't want to give it to him. You know, Canelo has that power. You know, he doesn't need the fight against Benavidez. To us, I would love to.
Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo Alvarez had some tense times during the build-up to the Canelo-Munguia fight. The bad blood between them might explain why Oscar picks Terence Crawford as the winner if the possible fight happens.
He keeps saying, you know, if the money's right, so I think the money will be right, you know, eventually. It depends which route Canelo goes, though. You know, it sounds like Terence Crawford, the Saudis want to make that fight happen, so... If he fights Crawford, then I think it'll be less likely he'll fight Benavidez. But, yeah, hopefully David gets it.
Robert Garcia thinks Canelo Alvarez might not want to give David Benavidez a shot, despite having the power to do so. However, Garcia said he would love to see a fight between the 2 boxing stars, as it could be one of the biggest fights in fighting today. Garcia thinks Benavidez has the tools to beat Canelo, but he also warns against underestimating. "A great like Canelo," he said, "Canelo is so talented that he could win this fight. I personally feel Benavidez has what it takes to beat him, but I could be wrong." Garcia also dismissed the idea that Canelo is afraid of Benavidez, saying, "Canelo has fought everyone. I don't think he's scared. He's just proud and doesn't feel the need to please everyone asking for this fight. He doesn't have to please Benavidez or his father, who have said things about him that weren't kind. Canelo will gain a lot of respect if he gives this fight to the boxing world, but he doesn't owe anyone." Meanwhile, Rio Valenzuela thinks that if Canelo fights Crawford first, it would likely lower the chances of him fighting Benavidez. Still, Rio thinks Benavidez deserves a shot at Canelo because he's earned it, hero who's achieved so much. But when I watch him fight now, I believe David wins. Mike Tyson is a big fan of Benavidez and confidently thinks he would beat Canelo if they fought. Tyson even thinks Benavidez could defeat Dimitri Bivol, the boxer who previously beat Canelo. Tyson added, "Benavidez is my guy. I think he can beat anyone in the division. I love Canelo, but he's a little past his prime." I believe David could even take down Bivol. Jim Lampley admires Benavidez's skills but feels Canelo's famous status is unmatched. He said, David Benavidez is exciting, spectacular, but we're comparing him to Canelo Alvarez, a man with 70 fights. Do I think David is an amazing puncher? Yes, but I don't know enough to say he'll beat Canelo, a guy who's rarely even been hurt in the ring. Lampley also dismissed the notion that Canelo is afraid of Benavidez. Why would Canelo avoid Benavidez when he fought Gennady Golovkin twice? Canelo never backs down. This is a fight that has to happen. Alexander Gvozdyk praised Benavidez, calling him a very good fighter. Reflecting on their sparring sessions, he revealed, "He kicked my ass. If anyone can beat Canelo, it's Benavidez."
The bigger ones.
Yes.
David, very good.
You ever sparred him?
Yeah, he kicked my ass, by the way. No, listen, I spar him. He's a very skilled fighter. He has ability to absorbing punches. Very good. I think he would be a very good opponent for Canelo. He's the only guy.
David Benavidez has taken an unconventional method to secure a fight with Canelo Alvarez. He called directly to Saudi boxing kingpin Turki Alalshik via social media, asking him to make the historic fight happen. In his plea, Benavidez offered to donate his entire fight purse to charity if he loses, declaring, "This will be the biggest Mexican versus Mexican-American fight in boxing history, and what better place to host it than the Kingdom for the World. To see, this fight is for pride and glory. I fight for greatness, not money. Your Excellency, if I don't beat Canelo, I'll give my entire purse to a children's charity of your choice. And when I do beat him, I'll donate a large portion of my earnings to combat childhood hunger worldwide. I'm a champion of the people and will always fight the best. I stand by my words." Despite Benavidez's heartfelt plea, Turki Alalshik appears to have other plans. He sees a showdown between Benavidez and Alexander Gvozdyk, with the winner earning a shot at Dmitry Bivol. Bivol, the reigning WBA and IBO light heavyweight champion, recently defeated Malik Zad and has voiced interest in a clash with Benavidez. The two have sparred in the past, with Bivol saying that their sessions were beneficial for both fighters.
Had a couple of sparrings. It was good sparrings for me, for him, I think. And maybe in the future, yeah, we could fight to each other because he can move up, and if he moves up.
David Benavidez also reflected on his sparring sessions with Dmitry Bivol, saying he did well against the current champion. Looking ahead, Benavidez revealed his aspirations to move up to the heavyweight division in the future, signaling his desire to take on even greater challenges in his career.
You were younger.
I was 22. From seeing what I did to him in those sparring sessions, I'm very confident I'll win. But I'm not gonna, be a fool and just use confidence as the 100% fuel. I'm gonna go in there and work extremely hard.
You're looking to go up to 175 pounds and potentially get the winner out of Benavidez and Bivol.
That's why I want to be a part of these big fights too, because as you know, both you guys know, once you get a really good fighter in front of you, the training camp is different. The mentality is different. And when you get in that ring, you shine. That's what I want for myself. I want to be put in them hard positions where you have to use 100% of your skills. And that's why I feel like the best will come out of me. So I'm not scared of it. So whatever it is, even if light heavyweight isn't my final destination, I really want to go up to cruiserweight.
Ooh, so that's cruiserweight, just another, you're a weight class away from going to actual heavyweight.
Yeah. But we're going to move one step at a time. We got light heavyweight. That's a division.
What are your thoughts? Should Canelo Alvarez face Terence Crawford next? Or is it time for David Benavidez to get his shot? Share your opinions in the comments area below. And if you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and explore more of our content on screen now.